You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
Welcome back. David Redwine, who is a member of the North Carolina Turnpike Authority, also a candidate for the Brunswick County State Senate seat, and Mayor Walter Futch, Mayor of Leland, are our guest this morning. We're talking about the Skyway project. Some are calling it the billion-dollar baby. So who has the bigger stake in all of this being built, residents or commerce and development?
Well, I think both do, quite frankly. I mean, moving people around in a fast-growing region is important to everyone. I mean, people like to get from point A to point B as quick as they can. There's a lot of interaction between northern Brunswick and Wilmington in cultural, economic, shopping, and that sort of thing. On the commerce side, I mean, you've got the port in Wilmington. You've got a proposed port in Southport. Whether or not that will be built is another question. And so there's a lot of commerce that would travel over any bridge or whatever happens in the future.
Mayor, do you think there are unspoken reasons this project is being proposed?
I'm not sure they're unspoken. I think if you read the newspapers, we saw time and again, this is a signature project, this will define Wilmington, and so forth and so on. So I called it a monument early on. I think it has more to do with some sort of defining structure like Charleston has, like Tampa has, than it does with transportation.
A Turnpike Authority engineer, Steve DeWitt, was quoted as saying that, quote, "The Cape Fear Skyway is about providing a choice to residents in the rapidly expanded Leland area." Right. He didn't say anything about commerce, Newport, Old Port, truck traffic. He said it's for the residents.
Well, I think that's true to some degree. I mean, I think anything that we talk about improving transportation is important to the residents of northern Brunswick and all of Brunswick County for that matter. But remember, one other thing is in the legislation that created the Turnpike Authority, there has to be a free alternative. I mean, there will be other routes in and out of Wilmington and Leland that are free to the public. You will not be required to use that as a toll road in and of itself.
And there are two free alternatives
right.
at this point. There's the Isabel Stellings Holmes right. Bridge to the north, and then the
exactly.
Cape Fear Memorial Bridge.
Go ahead. With commerce, I don't think that that we really know in North Carolina what effect a toll road is going to have on commerce. So we're taking a big billion-dollar chance that this toll road, and not only toll bridge, but toll loop, is going to help us as far as traffic and commerce. And I question whether or not we know enough in North Carolina about that. If we look at other states, I've got people from New York all over the place. I have a constituent who lived in the Bronx in New York. They built an expressway through the Bronx. It was a 25-cent toll, and they had to take the toll off because it made the traffic on the Bronx streets so bad.
People avoided
the toll. People were avoiding the 25-cent toll, and so, if you toll a road to the point where it's not feasible to use it, then you actually increase traffic on the other roads. So instead of helping, you hurt. And I haven't seen any numbers to tell us, what are the numbers that are going to be using the loop without a toll and with the toll and so forth. And those are the questions that I think need to be public.
What's the proposed toll at this point? Is there some range?
I don't think that's been determined yet because
I've heard $1.75.
That's probably a general ballpark figure. But remember, the traffic and revenue studies will determine what that is. It will also determine whether or not the new I-140 through Brunswick County bypass is tolled, and perhaps even the existing I-40 bypass through New Hanover County, whether or not that will be tolled. So there are a lot of unknowns, and I don't know if you'd have to change a number of pieces of legislation to accomplish all of that in order to make the tolls reasonable, as Dr. Futch is talking about. Toll roads in some cases don't work. The one in Greenville, South Carolina is an example of one that did not work. Toll roads have been around in Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas. Texas are building new ones now, and they do work in some cases.
Well, New Jersey, I grew up in Jersey, had the Parkway, had the Turnpike, and it was toll road, and that was the only way you traveled, really. And that was But this is another.
It's another, you know, there's
another
never been
animal,
a
it's
toll
another
road in North
region.
Carolina.
Well,
so-
there is one being built now, the Triax, and well, the first project Turnpike Authority did in Raleigh, the ground's being broken, and
Let me get back to this issue of, is it for residents, is it for future growth and development? There's some hazy area about, is it to relieve what the anticipated traffic across the river will be in the future, or to build something that will encourage future growth and development?
it's probably both.
Both.
I mean, we do have transportation problems here in this community and region, and I think as the region grows, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. So something's got to be done, whether it's a Skyway project or some other option in the future. Something will have to be done.
How much do we want to grow? You're the
you know,
mayor of
well,
one of the fastest growing
You know,
communities.
everybody says you need to control growth, you need to control growth. And I say, well, I'd like to be able to manage it, but that's like thinking that you can grab a tiger by the tail and you've got control over him. And that's pretty much the way it is with growth. Growth will occur, you know, from economic reasons, for all kinds of other reasons, and you may not have any choice about how it grows unless you manage it properly ahead of time.
The cost for this project has been escalating. The estimated cost was, what did it start out at, 3.25?
350.
350 million. It went up to 8 million. It went up to $1 billion. It's like at $1.5 billion now.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and it's years off.
Oh yeah, if everything were to go perfect, you know, with all the studies and all the financing and all that, you know, you're looking at 2017 best probably.
So how can anybody put a price tag on what it's going to cost in 20 years?
Well, you know, I don't know that you know definitely, but you try to do the best you can in terms of anticipating costs. I mean, you know, agencies do that all the time. So,
How would it be financed?
well, through tolls, through going to the bond programs in the country, and also the General Assembly would have to supplement it with what's called gap funding.
We're going to come back, talk more about the Skyway project, the billion-dollar baby, with our guest, David Redwine from the State Turnpike Authority, and the mayor of Leland, Dr. Walter Futch. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. It's on a federal list of highly impaired bridges. We'll talk about that component when we come back. Stay with us.